Hello everyone, thanks for watching again. I'm going to be planting the 2.5 Nano, and I just want to go over the plants that we'll be using for this. Alright, I already drained the water from the 2.5, and right up here we have all the plants that are going to go in here. So here up top, this plant here is a little sword. It's a dwarf sword. I don't know what the scientific name. When I bought it, it was sold to me as a Uruguayan sword. So I cut out any leaves that were that had little algae on it, and I trimmed back the roots. It had really long roots, and I've had this plant growing for about I want to say 6 to 7 years. I've had it growing, this little plant. It's never flowered. It's never shut out any runners or baby plants. But it's a beautiful plant. It's nice and small, and I really hope it does good in this tank. And here we have some dwarf sage. I believe it's dwarf Sagittaria subulata. I believe that's what it is. If it isn't, you guys can correct me. But can't remember. I had this plant for at least 6-7 years also. And I grow this one in a bottle, immersed, so it's a lot of that. So we're going to plant it, try to go for that carpeted look right off the bat, and then see how it does. This one here is a parva, cryptocorin parva here. Alright, this is extremely slow grower. I mean like years for it to get bushy, I guess. It really does. Like, this is years of growing. So that's a very, very slow grower. This is a Nubius Mana Petite. I've grown this one immersed also years ago, and now it's been living in my small planted fishbowl, which I made a video of. Oh, here's a leaf with algae that I cut off. My son threw back in. So yeah, so I have a big mat of this. So I just cut a bunch of it, little cheap pieces here that I'll be planting, probably in between the rocks. And then this here is a new plant for me. I got this last year at a fish auction, and I bought a whole cup of it for $1. It's this S. repens. Here, I'll show you the name. Where is it? It's there it is. Starogene repens, or Straugen repens. I don't know. That's what you could use to look it up. So go ahead. So this plant here grows tall, but if you keep cutting it back down, it grows bushy. You can see down here it's really bushy. So I just recently cut it down just to be able to put it in here, and also so I don't want to use up all of my supply. So I cut them all in half, replanted the tops in the plant bowl that I have, and I'm going to plant these in there. I want to go for a very compact look right off the bat. I don't really, it's such a small tank, why not? And oh, there's some snail eggs. That's going to be ramhorn snail, which is pretty cool. Yeah, so we're going to see what happens. Oh, and that fishbowl plant, that planted fishbowl that I have, I have snails in there, and I feed that tank super lightly, maybe once a week, and you can see that when the snails get hungry, they'll go for the plants. That's a very rare occasion. It could also have been like a dead spot, or the baby snails, when they hatch out, they eat that. But yeah, snails do eat your plants sometimes. And see all the little holes there? And it also could mean like there might be a nutritional deficiency in that fishbowl plant. But I gotta put more root tabs this year. I put last year, but I gotta put this year now. So yeah, so just keep an eye on that. There's only on these plants. They don't seem to go after the Anubias. Thing is tough. They definitely don't go after this, the dwarf sage, and they don't go after the sword or the parva. But this one seems to be very tasty for them. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and plant it. I'll do the planting on a time lapse. And thanks for watching. Alright, so I'm done with all the planting. I put the dwarf stag up front. I put the Uruguayan sword back here. I put the parvo right there. And the Nubius, the rhizome is right above, resting right on top of the gravel. I don't think it's going to rot at all. This is how I grow it in the fishbowl too. I just stick those roots into the gravel, and it's enough. Sometimes you get a floater, but you just stick it back down. Just make sure that rhizome of the Nubius never goes into the actual soil. That'll definitely rot it. And then I put all the S repens back here because it's going to grow tall. And I'll keep trimming it back there, and eventually, hopefully, it'll get like a bush up here like this. Alright, but you have to keep trimming it to give it that branching effect. Otherwise, it'll look like a long stem plant. So that's the look I'm going for. Hopefully, everything grows, you know. So this look is good too from this side here. And I'm going to fill it up with water now. Alright, so that's it. I finished the planting. And it looks pretty good. Like I said, I'm not happy with the size of the gravel. It's kind of big. It's more noticeable now that when you put the plant in there in comparison with the plants, every little rock, you know, I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like every little rock should have its place, and I need to move it around so it's not in the wrong spot. So the Nubius again is just the roots stuck underneath the gravel. The rhizomes are resting right on top, and it should avoid any rot. And then in the back, you can't see the S repens from the front, but from up here it looks pretty cool. I already have the filter running. It's on the low setting, and the plan with the S repens is to let it grow tall, trim it down a little bit. Then the following time, let it grow up a little taller, trim it higher up, and keep going like that. So get a high bushy canopy coming up. The parvo looks good from on top, and it also looks nice from the side there. Nice little accent piece. And then the Uruguayan sword. I don't know, it's my favorite plant, so I kind of put it up on a pedestal. And it just has its own little place there. I don't know how it fits compositionally wise, but I like it. And the only thing is the gravel I'm not too happy with, but I can live with it. It's fine. We'll see how it does. And one thing I notice is when planting in dirt for the very first time is that it's cool how when you press through the gravel, it's all weird, but then you just feel it go right into the dirt. It's super soft and like kind of like spongy feeling when you stick the roots in there. And it holds real quick. That's pretty cool. And I didn't have a lot of stuff come out. It also helped that I drained the tank to do it. But yeah, I think it's awesome. I love it. So it looks like the light's gonna be bright enough to grow it. I don't have a timer on it, so I'll manually be turning it on and off. I'm gonna try to go for 8 hours a day. And then since I don't have any livestock other than the little snails, I shouldn't have any algae issues. And I feed the snails once a week, a small amount of rapashi, and that's it. That's a cool view there. So hopefully every plant grows, starts to take off. The soil should be nutrient rich. And I'm very curious to see how it's going to grow. It's going to be cool. Stocking is up next. Go a little while without it. It might take a while to acquire the fish that I decided to keep in here. Stay tuned for that. And hope you enjoyed this video. Any comments, questions, critique, I'm all ears or eyes. Just write them down in the comments. And thank you for watching. Subscribe and all that good stuff if you want to. If you don't, I appreciate you just stopping by. Bye.